My daughter thought I didn't notice the powder. I was sitting at our Kit Patel table in the Desert Palms apartment, staring at Olivia as she stirred my Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Her smile was fake, the kind she plastered across Instagram stories, fooling 50,000 followers into believing she was someone extraordinary. But I saw it, the faint white residue on the wooden spoon. I saw the way she glanced at her bedroom, where that ring light glowed like a stage spotlight. I saw the way she avoided my eyes as she slid the bowl toward me. "Here you go, Daddy," Olivia said, her voice dripping with the sweet, rehearsed tone she used for her videos. I made it extra special tonight. I just smiled, swapped our bowls, and watched her reach for her phone, unaware that I'd been observing her for weeks. Being invisible has its lessons. At 48, cleaning floors at Phoenix General Hospital for $32,000 a year, most people pass right through you. But when your daughter has 50,000 followers on Instagram, suddenly, she and her story becomes everyone's focus. Olivia had built her empire on lies. While I worked 60-hour weeks, she flaunted $400 designer bags, $200 dinners, and a life I could never afford. Her bio screamed, "Self-made entrepreneur, living my best life." Self-made, yeah, right. I'd raised her alone since she was 6, after her mother died on the I-10. 20 years of double shifts, stretching every dollar for school supplies, wearing the same navy blue Lucas maintenance uniform until the letters peeled off. None of that made it to her followers' feeds. They saw the $180 ring light, her $1,200 iPhone 14 Pro, and assumed she earned it herself. Comments rained in. Goals? Teach me your secrets? How did you do it? The real secret? Me, working nights so she could sleep in. Me, paying $850 a month for our 2-bedroom apartment so she'd have a studio. Me, buying groceries while she funneled money into props for her fake life. One day, fixing her broken closet door, I found the receipts. $2,400 in designer clothes over 3 months. Every dollar posted as financially independent had come from our struggle, our sweat. And the cruelest part? She was making money off me. Olivia had learned the influencer formula: struggle beats success. She mixed in posts about caring for my sick father and sacrificing for family. Her cooking videos went viral. Making soup for my hardworking daddy hit 37,000 views. Comments? "You're such a good daughter." This made me cry. Off camera, it was me paying for ingredients. Off camera, Olivia rolled her eyes when recording ended. Off camera, the donations from her followers, $8,200 over 6 months, went straight to her designer purse fund, not to our groceries or bills. The bank statements in her laptop bag told the truth. Every cent, rerouted to her account. But the deepest cut wasn't money. It was watching her perform love and care for me every evening, invisible in my own home. Lights, camera, action, and then stop. She'd return to her phone, calculating engagement, counting likes, measuring hearts. "Nobody follows a janitor's dad," she said once, eyes on the screen. "They follow success stories. They follow people who figured it out." Figured what out? How to lie, how to twist kindness into cash, how to turn your own father into a prop for internet sympathy. Olivia's posts had grown darker, more desperate. Donations were slowing, so she escalated her story. Last week's video, titled "Scared to Ask for Help, But," showed her crying real tears, talking about the overwhelming burden of being a caregiver. Comments exploded. "You're an angel. He's so lucky to have you. I wish I could help more." And people did help more. Venmo notifications pinged constantly. $20 from @SarahMom2, $50 from @Robert Cares, $100 from @Kindness Matters with notes like, "For your father's medicines." I wanted to reply to every donation, to tell Sarah, Robert, and everyone else that their money wasn't buying medicines. It was funding Olivia's fake lifestyle, her lies. But I didn't. I watched, waited, and collected proof. Here's what Olivia didn't understand about invisibility. Invisible people see everything, hear everything, remember everything, It wasn't the stolen money that hurt most. It wasn't even being used as a prop. It was that she thought I was too blind to notice. She'd grown careless, leaving her laptop open, forgetting to clear browser history, leaving her phone unlocked on the Kit Patel counter. That's how I discovered the powder in my soup. That's how I learned her true plan. What she didn't know, I was photographing everything. Screenshots of her bank accounts, receipts of purchases, videos of her counting donations while laughing about her poor, sick daddy. 20 years of raising her alone had taught patience. 20 years of invisibility had taught stealth. Olivia thought she had everyone fooled. But you can't con a con artist's father forever. The call that changed everything came at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. I was lying in bed when I heard her talking in the next room. Her voice wasn't the fake, sweet tone of her videos. It was excited, conspiratorial. "No, listen, Brittany, this is going to work perfectly," she whispered. Thin apartment walls betrayed her every word. "The abuse angle is pure gold. Engagement is insane. People eat this shit up abuse angle." My stomach dropped. "I know, it sounds bad, but hear me out. Elder abuse awareness is trending. If I position myself as the brave daughter speaking out, I can hit 50,000 donations. Maybe more." She paused, listening to whoever Brittany was. "Yes, I have content planned. I've been putting herbal sleep aids in his soup. Totally harmless. Makes him drowsy so I can film him looking confused. Perfect. He already looks old and tired from work." Sleep aids, not powder. Sleep aids. The beauty is nobody fact-checks abuse stories. Too sensitive. People donate, share, support. I've written the script. I heard her rustle papers. "Okay, listen. I never thought I'd have courage to post this, but I can't stay silent anymore. For years, my father has been—" She read her notes, listing fake emotional abuse, financial control, threats, classic patterns that people recognize. The genius part? The medical angle. I can claim he's putting things in my food to control me. Ironic, right? Since I'm the one doing it to him. But it flips the script perfectly. Suddenly, I'm the victim who's been drugged and controlled, and I'm the dangerous old man who must be stopped. My hands shook. My own daughter, Olivia, was plotting to destroy my life, all for Instagram money. "I already picked the perfect outfit for the crying video," she whispered. "Something plain, scared-looking, maybe a little tear at the shoulder to suggest struggle." And I practiced the scared voice. "Want to hear it?" Another pause. Then her voice changed. Small, trembling, terrified. "Please, if anyone can help me, I don't know how much longer I can stay here. I'm afraid of what he might do if he finds out I'm posting this. But I can't keep living in fear." Then her normal voice returned, bright, pleased with herself. "Good, right? I've been practicing in the mirror for weeks. The key is to look at the camera but not really make eye contact. Too traumatized to connect, but brave enough to speak out. I wanted to crash through that wall and confront her, but something held me back. Maybe 20 years of watching her lie to teachers, neighbors, anyone who would listen. Maybe the realization that this wasn't teenage rebellion anymore. This was calculated destruction of another human being for profit. "The timeline is perfect," she continued. "Post the first video Friday during peak hours. Follow up with a GoFundMe Saturday. If it gets shared enough, maybe trending on TikTok. I could raise $50,000 easy. Maybe more if it blows up $50. 0, 0, 0 to ruin her father." "And here's the best part," she said, voice low. "Even if someone investigates, what will they find? A tired old janitor working night shifts, coming home exhausted. A daughter posting about taking care of him for months. Everything supports the narrative I've built. She was right. Every caring daughter post, every worried about daddy video, every fake concern about my health. Months of preparation for this moment. Brittany, people want clear villains and good victims. I'm young, pretty, articulate. He's old, tired, works a job people look down on. Who do you think they'll believe? I heard her laugh. Laugh, actually laugh, about ruining my life. The only tricky part is making sure he doesn't see it coming. If he gets suspicious, starts defending himself before I control the narrative, it could backfire. But I've got that covered. Her voice dropped even lower. I'll increase the dose in his soup tomorrow night. Make sure he's out cold. Then film the big reveal, him unconscious in the background. Perfect evidence of the drugs he's supposedly giving me. Perfect evidence. She planned to drug me, film me, and claim I was the abuser. By the time he wakes, the video will have thousands of views, donations pouring in. Even if he denies it, the internet will already decide the call ended. But I stayed pressed to the wall until sunrise, listening to her practice her victim voice, plotting my destruction. That's when I knew. This wasn't about money anymore. This wasn't about lies. It was about survival. Olivia had bet that when the story went live, I'd be the villain everyone hated. But she made a critical mistake. She assumed I'd stay unconscious long enough for her lies to take root. What she didn't know? I'd stopped eating her soup 3 days ago. Thursday morning, I called in sick, for the first time in 3 years. I sat at the Kit Patel table with Olivia's laptop open. She'd left it unlocked after her late-night plotting. The screen glowed, a Google Docs file titled Escape Plan Private. 23 pages of detailed notes on how to destroy my life and profit. Methodical, professional, optimal posting times, viral hashtags, psychological tricks to appear credible as a victim. Every step calculated. Page 12 was labeled Evidence Creation. Screenshots of fake text messages Olivia had fabricated using online generators. Messages showing Lucas Rivera threatening her, controlling her money, telling her she was worthless. Messages that never existed but looked shockingly real. Page 15. Medical documentation. She had researched drug effects meticulously, planning to claim I'd been slipping her substances over time. Rohypnol to make her compliant, anxiety meds to keep her dependent, sleep aids to control her schedule. The irony was brutal. Page 18 broke down financial projections. Conservative $50, 000 in the first week if traction was moderate. Optimistic $120,000 if the story went viral. She'd even calculated taxes and platform fees. But page 21 made me shut the laptop and step back. Long-term strategy. She outlined life after the money stopped flowing. Book deals on surviving parental abuse, speaking gigs at domestic violence events, maybe even a Netflix documentary. She wasn't just planning to ruin me. She was planning to build a career on my destruction. I had 48 hours before her Friday evening live stream. 48 hours to run, hide, or fight. Running? Impossible. $800 in savings, a job barely covering rent, and fleeing would look like guilt, confirming every lie she planned to tell. Hiding? Also impossible. The internet never forgets. Olivia's plan followed me everywhere. Google my name, find elder abuse stories, neighbors whispering, becoming the man everyone assumed was guilty. Fighting back remained. But how do you fight someone who spent months constructing a lie so precise it had its own documentation? Someone versed in psychology, marketing, social media algorithms, capable of crafting the perfect victim narrative? The answer hit while I stared at Olivia's Venmo history. $8,200 from strangers thinking they were helping. People like at single moms struggling, at veteran dad, at Grandma Jones. Real people, working hard, choosing to donate $20 instead of buying groceries. Olivia had weaponized their kindness. Then it hit me. This wasn't just about me anymore. This was about every person deceived, every real victim whose credibility could be destroyed by fake stories like hers. I opened my phone, started taking pictures, screenshots of her fake evidence, photos of her long-term strategy, images showing where donations actually went. Then I did something I hadn't done in 20 years of parenting. I went through Olivia's things, systematically, without permission. In her dresser, printouts of bank statements, donations highlighted in yellow. She tracked her earnings like a business. In her closet, shopping bags with tags still attached, $400 purse claimed from savings, 3 designer dresses totaling $800 worn in videos about staying positive despite financial stress. Under her bed, a notebook of practice scripts. Versions of her abuse story with margin notes on which details got the strongest emotional reactions in test posts. Worst of all, her phone gallery. Photos of me for weeks, without my knowledge, tired after work, asleep in my chair, confused at her sudden questions. The photos were time-stamped, organized in an album called Evidence Folder. Each image manipulated to make me look disheveled, threatening, unstable, far worse than reality. She had been building a case against me for months, documenting my worst moments, ignoring every good one. That's when I made my decision. Olivia wanted to play the victim? Fine. But she'd forgotten one rule about victims and abusers. The truth always comes out eventually, and the liar has far more to lose than the one who tells it. I had 47 hours to prepare my own evidence, 47 hours to build my case. Unlike Olivia, I wouldn't have to lie. Friday afternoon, I set my trap. Olivia was nervous all day, checking her phone, adjusting her ring light setup. Her big live stream was scheduled for 8 p.m., prime time for maximum engagement. "Daddy, I'm making your favorite soup tonight," she announced around 5:30, her voice carrying that familiar fake sweetness. I looked up from the couch, pretending to watch TV while secretly recording everything on my phone. "That's nice, honey," I said casually. She moved about the Kit Patel, opening cabinets, running water, the familiar sounds of soup prep. Then I heard it, the soft rustle of a small paper packet being opened. My phone was propped on a book, camera aimed at the Kit Patel. The video wasn't perfect, but it captured Olivia clearly stirring a white powder into the pot. She'd increased the dose, just as she promised Brittany. "Dinner's ready," she called, carrying 2 bowls to our small dining table. The larger one, my usual spot, was in front of my chair. I faked checking my phone. "Oh, work's calling." "Just a minute, Dad." "The soup will get cold," Olivia snapped, irritation breaking through her performance for the first time. "1 minute, honey." "You know how Mr. Peterson gets when maintenance doesn't answer," I said, stepping into the hallway, pretending to take a call but actually watching through the doorway. She sat at the table and pulled out her phone, probably checking her scheduled live stream. My moment had come. I returned to the dining room, still on the call. "Sorry about that," I said loudly, then made a show of sitting in Olivia's chair, the one with the smaller bowl. She looked up, confused. "Dad, you're in my—" "What?" "Oh, sorry, force of habit," I said, picking up the spoon. "This one's fine." Her face shifted as she realized what had happened. The larger bowl, the one with the extra drugs, was now in front of her. The smaller safe bowl was in front of me. "Actually, I usually sit there," she protested, starting to rise. "It's fine, honey." "Just soup, not a state dinner." I took a big spoonful from my bowl, making appreciative noises. "Delicious." "Try yours." Olivia stared at her bowl like it was a snake. I'm not really hungry right now," she muttered. "Come on, you made such a big deal about cooking tonight." "At least taste it," I said, eating deliberately, finishing most of my bowl while she froze. "Is something wrong?" I asked innocently. "It tastes fine to me." "No, I just ate a big lunch." "Olivia, you haven't eaten lunch at home in months." "Always out with friends or filming content somewhere?" Reluctantly, she picked up her spoon. "I think I'm coming down with something. Maybe I shouldn't eat in case it's contagious." "Honey, it's just soup. Your grandmother's recipe, right? The one you always post about." I watched her face as panic flickered. Refuse to eat and I might get suspicious. Eat, and she'd consume the drugs meant for me. She took a tiny spoonful, barely wetting her lips. "That's not eating, that's tasting." "Feeling okay?" "You look pale." She took another small spoonful, then another. I could see her calculating. How much could she eat without being affected? But she'd planned for my weight, not hers. 120 pounds versus my 180. The the same dose that would make me drowsy would hit her much harder. "I'm going to get some crackers," she said, standing up too quickly. Far too quickly. She had to grab the back of her chair to steady herself. "Whoa, careful there. Are you sure you're not getting sick?" I asked. "I'm fine." Just stood up too fast. But she wasn't fine. I could see it in her slow blinking, the way she concentrated on walking to the Kit Patel cabinet. "Maybe you should lie down for a bit," I suggested. "Rest up before your— What did you have planned tonight? Something with your friends?" No, I have a live stream. Important live stream. Can't miss it." Her words were already starting to slur. "What kind of live stream?" Maybe I could help. Olivia turned to me, panic creeping into her expression. She realized what was happening, but it was too late. The drugs were already in her system. Just beauty stuff. You wouldn't understand. She tried to walk back to the table but stumbled. I jumped up to steady her. "Honey, you need to sit down." "You're not looking good." "I'm fine." "I'm fine. Just need some coffee." But even as she spoke, her eyes drooped. She leaned against the counter, struggling to resist the effects of her own medicine. "Olivia, what did you put in that soup?" "Nothing. I don't know what you're—" She was fading fast. The sleep aids she'd chosen were potent, meant for someone much larger than herself. "Did you put something in my food, Olivia?" "Dad, I need to—" Her knees buckled. I caught her just in time and helped her onto the couch. "Rest now, honey. We'll figure this out when you wake up." She tried to speak again, but the words wouldn't come. Her phone remained in her hand, showing the live stream setup. 8 p.m., 50,000 expected viewers. It was 7:15. I gently took the phone and stared at the screen. Her whole plan was laid bare. The title, the emotional thumbnail, the description promising the truth I've been too scared to share. 50,000 people were about to log on expecting to see a brave young woman exposing her abusive father. Instead, they were about to get something entirely different. I opened her livestream app and began setting it up. After all, Olivia had taught me everything about crafting compelling content. By 7:20 p.m., Olivia lay unconscious on the couch, breathing deep and steady. I had 40 minutes before her scheduled broadcast. I sat in her desk chair, surrounded by the evidence of her deceit. Ring light perfectly positioned, camera angled for maximum impact, script notes scattered across her desk with directions like "speak slowly for impact" and "pause for tears." Her phone buzzed constantly, notifications from followers checking on her, comments on her previous posts. "Can't wait for tonight. You're so brave for sharing. We're here for you." 53,000 people were about to witness what they thought would be my destruction. I picked up her phone and opened the livestream app. The title was set. "Why I've Been Silent: The Truth About My Father." The thumbnail showed Olivia looking scared and vulnerable, text overlay. "Finally ready to speak." The description made my stomach twist. Tonight, I'm sharing something I never thought I'd have the courage to say. For too long, I've protected someone who doesn't deserve protection. But I can't stay silent anymore. This is my truth. My truth. She planned to steal it and replace it with profitable lies. I glanced at Olivia's unconscious form. She'd positioned herself as the perfect victim. Young, articulate, sympathetic. I was the perfect villain. Old, tired, overlooked by society. But she'd made a critical miscalculation. I opened her laptop and pulled up all the evidence I'd gathered. Bank statements showing where donations really went, screenshots of her fake text generators, photos of her practicing crying for the camera. Then I did something Olivia never expected. I read the comments on her previous posts. Really read them. At @singlemom_Maria. "Your story gives me hope." I donated what I could. At Robert_veteran. "Reminded me of my own daughter." Sent $50 for groceries. At Grandma_Ellen. "Been following your journey. You're in my prayers." These weren't faceless internet users. These were real people, real struggles, real hearts. Olivia had tried to exploit them. Maria was a single mom. probably sacrificing her own groceries to help. Robert was a veteran who saw a reflection of his family in Olivia's fake story. Ellen was a grandmother on a fixed income, sending prayers and likely money to a stranger. They deserved the truth. I checked the time. 7:30. Olivia stirred slightly on the couch, mumbling incoherently. The sleep aids were strong, but temporary. She'd wake groggy, confused, hours from now. By then, it would be too late to undo the damage. I opened her live stream app and surveyed the waiting room. Already 2,000 viewers had joined early, chatting about what Olivia might reveal. Comments raced across the screen. "Olivia, you've got this. We believe you. Take your time. We're here. You're not alone." Their kindness was real. Their trust was genuine, and Olivia was about to weaponize all of it against her own father. I considered walking away, letting her sleep through the stream, letting her wake and reschedule, giving her a chance to back down. But I knew she wouldn't. She'd doubled down, twist any absence into evidence for her narrative. The viewer count climbed, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. These people logged on to support someone they believed was brave, ready to expose abuse. They were prepared to give emotional support, financial help, social amplification. They deserved the truth. At 7:45, I made my move. I sat in Olivia's chair, adjusted her ring light, and looked directly into the camera. Behind me, she lay unconscious on the couch, visible but clearly out of it. The viewer count shot to 30,000, 40,000, 50,000. I took a steadying breath and clicked Go Live. "Hello, everyone. I'm Lucas Rivera, and I think we need to talk." The chat erupted. "Who is this? Where's Olivia? Is this her dad? Something's wrong." Viewers surged to 60,000 as word spread. Something unexpected was happening. Comments flew too fast to read individually, but the tone was clear: confusion, concern, alarm. "I know you're here to support my daughter Olivia," I said, voice calm, "and I appreciate your care. But before she tells you her story, you deserve to hear mine." The viewer count climbed to 70,000, 80,000. "Call the police," typed someone in all caps. "He looks dangerous." "Olivia, we're calling for help. Someone find her address." Exactly as Olivia predicted, a 50-something janitor disrupting a young woman's live stream. In their minds, I was already the villain. "My name is Lucas Rivera. I work nights as a janitor at Phoenix General Hospital. I make $32,000 a year. I've been raising Olivia alone since she was 6. More comments flooded in. "Why is he talking? This is scary." "Someone check on Olivia." Then, slowly, skepticism appeared. "Wait, let him speak. Something's off here. Why is she unconscious?" I leaned forward, face fully visible. "Olivia told you she's been taking care of her sick father. She showed videos of cooking for me, worrying about my health, sacrificing her needs for mine. Tonight, she planned to tell you I'd been abusing her." The chat went wild. "What? No way. Olivia would never lie. He's controlling the narrative." But mixed in, voices of reason emerged. "This explains why some stories felt off. Why would he go live if he were guilty? For 8 months, you've been sending Olivia money," I continued. "Small amounts, $5 here, $20 there. Money for groceries, medical bills, helping a struggling family." I held up a printed bank statement, letting the camera focus on the evidence. "This shows $8,200 in donations from people like you, good, generous people who wanted to help." The viewer count spiked to 90,000. The story was spreading beyond Olivia's followers, shared across platforms as people scrambled to understand what was happening. None of that money went to groceries. None of it went to medical bills. It went here. I held up Olivia's purchase receipts. $400 purses, $200 dinners, designer clothes. The money you donated to help a struggling family funded her fake lifestyle. Comments shifted. "Show us proof." This could be fake too. Why should we believe him? "I have screenshots of her Venmo account," I said, opening Olivia's laptop. "I have photos of her practice sessions rehearsing tears for the camera. I have her written plans for tonight's stream, including all the fake evidence she created to make you believe I was dangerous. Behind me, Olivia stirred slightly but didn't wake. Why isn't she responding? She looks drugged. Did he drug her? Actually, that's exactly what happened, I said calmly. But not how you think. Olivia has been putting sleep aids in my soup for weeks, trying to make me appear confused and disoriented for her videos. Tonight, she increased the dose to keep me unconscious during this stream. I paused, letting it sink in. But I switched our bowls. She drugged herself with her own medicine. Comments exploded. Oh my God. She was drugging him? Plot twist! I'm going to show you everything, I continued. Every fake text message she created, every purchase made with your donations, every lie she planned to tell tonight. You deserve to know where your kindness really went. The viewer count hit 100,000. First, let me read something Olivia wrote about all of you. I opened her strategy document, finding the section I had been waiting for. These people are so easy to manipulate. They want to feel good about themselves, so they donate to causes that make them feel righteous. The key is making them feel like heroes for helping me. Once they're emotionally invested, they'll defend me even against evidence. The chat went silent, then erupted. She wrote that about us? We were trying to help her. She called us easy to manipulate? Disgusting. 120,000 viewers. The story was going viral in real time. Now, I said, let me show you exactly how she planned to destroy her father for content. 130. 000 viewers watched as I opened Olivia's evidence creation folder. This document is titled Long-Term Strategy, I explained, sharing her screen. Page 18 shows her financial projections. Conservative estimate $50,000 from tonight's abuse story. Optimistic scenario $120,000 if it goes viral. The chat blurred with outrage. She had a business plan? $120,000 off fake abuse? This is insane! I scrolled to page 12. Here's how she planned to create evidence against me. Screenshots of fake text messages. Look at these. I displayed fabricated conversations generated online. Messages showing Lucas Rivera sending threatening texts. You better not tell anyone. Nobody will believe you. You know what happens when you disobey me. These messages don't exist, I said. She made them with a fake text generator. Timestamps suggest these threats happened while I was at work, verified by hospital security logs. More evidence. Timestamp March 15th, 11:47 p.m. Stop crying or I'll give you something to really cry about. My work shift, March 15th, 11:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. Notice anything? She has me threatening her at 11:47, but I was mopping floors in the cardiac wing the entire night. The viewer count hit 150,000. Now, the financial evidence. I opened Olivia's bank statements highlighting every Venmo deposit in yellow. March 3rd, at Concerned Mom sent $25 for Daddy's medicines. Same day, Olivia spent $28 at Starbucks and $37 on a manicure. March 10th, at Veteran Bob sent $50 for grocery help. Same day, Olivia bought a $140 top from Urban Outfitters. March 18th, at Grandpa Charlie sent $15 for the electric bill. Same day, Olivia spent $89 on sushi and posted it online. I kept scrolling through months of damning evidence. At singlemom_, Lisa sent her last $20 on April 2nd, writing, I know what it's like to struggle. Olivia spent it on a $40 eyebrow appointment and overpriced coffee. Hey, the chat erupted in fury. I'm at singlemom_Lisa. I skipped lunch to send that money. At Veteran Bob here on disability. That $50 was my grocery money. She spent our donations on luxuries? This is fraud. Next, I said, let me show you her practice videos. I opened Olivia's hidden album, rehearsal footage. The first clip showed her under the ring light, practicing terror for the camera. Take one, Olivia's voice commanded from the speakers. Eyes wide, fake fear etched on her face. No, too obvious. Take two. She glanced down, then up, letting tears well naturally. Better, but lighting needs work. Take 3 perfect trembling voice, perfect performance. Save this for the real stream. The audience was horrified. She practiced being a victim? This is psychopathic. How long has she been planning this? According to her notes, 6 months, I said. Since October, Olivia has been building this narrative. Every worried about daddy post, every caregiver life is hard video, every plea for donations. Everything was preparation for tonight. I displayed her content calendar. November 12th, post about daddy looking tired. December 1st, story about him being forgetful. January 15th, video about sacrificing my social life to care for him. Engagement analytics scribbled in margins. Good sympathy response. Donations plus 20%. Need more medical concern angle. She tracked your emotional responses like a marketing campaign. I added, the weight of her deception pressing down. Behind me, Olivia stirred on the couch, mumbling incoherently. The sleep aids were fading slowly. Now, the most disturbing part, I said, opening her long-term strategy document to page 21. Phase 2, book deal about surviving parental abuse. Estimated advance, $200,000. Phase 3, speaking circuit at domestic violence conferences, $5,000 per appearance. Phase 4, Netflix documentary possibility, $500,000 to $2 million projected. The viewer count hit 180,000. She planned an entire career on destroying me, selling lies as trauma, speaking at conferences about abuse that never happened, profiting millions off a fabricated story. But here's what she didn't count on. I held up my work badge, tax returns, medical records. Truth leaves evidence. Lies, no matter how carefully constructed, always collapse under scrutiny. Now, I'll show you exactly how tonight was supposed to go. 200,000 viewers. Social media buzzed. Holy shit, this influencer was about to destroy her dad for money. Watching the most insane live stream ever. This girl is pure evil. Here's Olivia's script for tonight, I said, opening her final document. Word for word, her plan to tell you her lies. I began reading in her rehearsed victim voice. I never thought I'd have the courage to share this, but I can't stay silent anymore. For years, my father has been controlling every aspect of my life through fear, intimidation, and worse. The chat exploded. She was going to say that? Read more. This is insane, I continued. He monitors my phone, controls my money, and when I resist, he puts things in my food to keep me compliant. Tonight, before this stream, he tried to drug my soup again, but I pretended to drink it and recorded him admitting everything. She was planning to claim I confessed on camera, I said, shaking my head. Except the only confession we have is hers, plotting this entire fraud with her friend Brittany at 2 a.m. last Tuesday. I played the recording. Olivia's voice filled the stream. The abuse angle is pure gold. If I position myself as the brave daughter exposing her abusive father, I could easily hit 50,000 in donations. 220,000 viewers. The chat was a storm, scrolling too fast to follow. Behind me, Olivia began stirring, her eyes fluttering open. The sleep aids were fading faster than she anticipated. Let me show you her photo evidence, I said, opening Olivia's evidence folder. Pictures of me appeared, exhausted after double shifts, nodding off in my chair, confused when she asked unexpected questions while I was barely awake. Every photo was taken without my knowledge, I continued, edited to make me look unstable. This one, March 8th, shows me angry and threatening. I was actually squinting because she'd turned on the lights while I tried to sleep after a 16-hour shift. Olivia blinked, trying to focus. What? She mumbled, seeing the laptop screen. Her expression shifted from confusion to horror as she grasped what was happening. The chat erupted. She's awake! Olivia, can you see this? Explain yourself. How do you feel about being exposed? She struggled to sit, still groggy. Dad, what are you doing? Her voice slurred, exactly how she'd planned to portray me. I'm telling the truth, Olivia. The one thing you tried to avoid tonight. Her gaze fell on the viewer count. 240,000 and climbing. She went pale. Turn it off. Please. Like you were going to turn off your lies about me? I countered. The chat was merciless. Face the music, Olivia. No escape now. Explain the fake evidence. We saw everything. Olivia tried to stand, stumbled, still weakened by the drugs. This isn't... You don't understand. I understand perfectly, I said. You drugged your own father for months to create content, scammed $8,200 from people who thought they were helping, planned to destroy my life for your career. That's not... I wasn't going to... Her words slurred, sounding like the drugged, confused victim she wanted me to appear as. The irony was visible to all. She sounds like she was scripting him. Poetic justice. How does it feel to be drugged, Olivia? I turned back to the camera. Olivia can't think clearly because she's under the same sleep aid she's been dosing my food with for weeks, the same one she increased tonight to make me appear incompetent. She finally steadied herself against the couch. You have to stop. My career, my followers. Your followers deserve the truth about who they were really supporting. 250,000 viewers. I opened her DMS folder. Here are messages Olivia sent to brands seeking sponsorships. Dear Fashion Nova, I have 50,000 highly engaged followers who trust my authentic lifestyle content. My demographic is perfect for your target market, people who believe in real struggle and success. The audience reacted in disgust. She monetized our sympathy for brand deals? Authentic lifestyle content? Everything was fake. Olivia lunged for the laptop. Stop reading those. But unsteady hands missed. Her attempt only amplified her guilt. Here's another. Dear HelloFresh, my followers love my content about cooking for my sick father. A partnership with your meal kits would be perfect for my caregiving brand. Caregiving brand, I repeated. She turned our relationship into a brand. Real tears streamed down her face, unlike her rehearsed ones. Please, Dad, I'm sorry. I didn't mean... You didn't mean to get caught. The comments were relentless. Those tears looked different from her practice videos. Now she's sorry? Too late, Olivia. Apologize to everyone you scammed. I pulled up her GoFundMe draft, prepared for tonight's live stream. Goal, $50,000. Help Olivia escape abuse and start over. I read aloud. After years of suffering and silence, I finally found the courage to speak out about my father's abuse. Now, I need your help to escape and build a new life free from fear. The viewer count hit 275,000. Every dollar would have been stolen. Every share would have spread lies. Every comment of support would have been built on lies. My phone started ringing, then Olivia's, then the apartment line. Breaking news. This story had escaped social media and was spreading everywhere. Olivia stared at the phones, at the laptop screen showing nearly 300,000 viewers, at the chaotic chat. Her plan hadn't just failed, it had exploded in spectacular backfire. I want everyone who donated to Olivia to file complaints with their banks, I said, looking into the camera. Screenshot this stream, save all evidence. Report the fraud. A sharp, urgent knock echoed at the apartment door. That's probably the police, I said calmly. Some viewers said they were calling, ironically, exactly what Olivia planned to happen tonight. Against me. Olivia slumped back onto the couch, the weight of reality crashing down. What? What have you done? I've told the truth. The same truth you intended to bury under lies for profit. The knocking intensified. Police! Open up! I glanced at the camera one last time. 300,000 people had now witnessed the evidence. Olivia's GoFundMe would never go live. Her fabricated abuse story would never be believed. Every donor now knew exactly where their generosity went. Dad, please, Olivia whispered, panic in her eyes. The police are here, Olivia, just like in your plan. Except they're here for fraud and drugging someone, not because I'm dangerous. I stood, walking calmly to the door. To everyone who donated thinking they were helping, I'm sorry someone manipulated your kindness. You deserved better. The viewer count surged to 325,000 as I opened the door. Justice had gone viral. 3 weeks later, the results were clear. Olivia's Instagram account, suspended. TikTok, banned for fraud. YouTube, demonetized and removed. The live stream had been downloaded and reshared endlessly. Switching the soup bowls became shorthand online for exposing a liar with their own trap. The Phoenix Police Department opened case number 2024-PHX-47291 for elder abuse and wire fraud. Detective Mills, responding that night, called it the strangest domestic call she had ever handled. 300,000 people watching live evidence being collected. GoFundMe froze Olivia's account and returned $8,200 to donors. Venmo flagged her for suspicious activity. The IRS received all records of her unreported income. Local news picked up the story. Phoenix influencer exposed in elder abuse scam. Father turns tables in viral live stream. Then national outlets. Then international. The Great Soup Switch made headlines from New York to London. Olivia moved out the day after the stream. No forwarding address. Her last post before everything vanished. A Notes app screenshot. The situation has been misunderstood. I'm taking legal action for defamation. 6 hours later, after her lawyer saw the evidence, it was gone. At Single Mom Lisa found me on Facebook. Thank you for telling the truth. I have 3 kids, and that $20 was my grocery money, but I'd rather know than live a lie. At Veteran Bob wrote, 40 years in the military taught me to recognize a good soldier when I see one. You fought the right fight, Lucas. I still work nights at Phoenix General Hospital, still make $32,000 a year, still mop floors from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. But now, coworkers know the story. Mrs. Patel from next door brings real soup sometimes. No additives, she jokes. The apartment feels different, quieter, cleaner, but not empty. Olivia's ring light sits unplugged, gathering dust. Sometimes I think about packing it away. But truth doesn't need special lighting. My phone buzzes occasionally with interview requests. Podcasters, documentarians, producers. But I decline. The truth already has its audience. 325,000 people saw what really happened. That's enough witnesses. Some stories don't need sequels.